Hey, part two of the second project. Here we go. We're gonna start obtaining a little bit more information and figuring out where to look for and what kinds of things to look for when we look at part two. So, go to the home page here for business finance and come down to project two. And this next part is the finding financial information. And so click on that and open it up. There's a Word doc there. It's just a page long, or a little less than a page actually. So it asks you a few more questions that I certainly want you to answer for this next part. But a lot of this next part is just digging in, figuring out what kind of information you want to be looking for in order to ultimately do your report. Okay, so. A couple of you, by the way, I want to go back to I've gone through and looked, I think, at everybody's ticker symbol, and there's a couple of you that didn't have the correct ticker symbol or didn't have a ticker symbol at all. Ticker symbol is usually a 1 to 4 letter code, basically an abbreviation, we might say, of the company that just allows us to go in. That's how they're listed on either the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange, and that allows us to go in and find that more easily on a regular basis, if that makes sense. I'll show you, for example, here. I've got the stock quotes. This is on a page that I look at often, and so it's got ticker symbols. WFC is Wells Fargo, and UA Under Armour, and XOM is Exxon, AAPL Apple, etc. So it gives a quick look, right, without having to spell out the entire name of the company, and it makes it easier to look things up subsequently too. So make sure, if you didn't get that on the first try, get that shipped back into me if you would. And then one person chose a foreign company, and I'm not going to tell you that a foreign company is impossible. I'm going to recommend that you switch. It's difficult to find as much financial information and as much information period about the company when it's a domiciled in a foreign country versus here in the U.S. and the access that we have to the the financials, et cetera, et cetera. So please do that. So anyhow, now that you've got the ticker symbol, where do we go look for the additional financial information, right? Okay, ultimately you're going to write a financial analysis anyhow of the company, but mostly financial, right? Okay, and for this assignment, I'm going to want you to look at the sales trend, the earnings per share for the past 3 years. You looked at earnings per share this past year, the most recent ROE and the most recent ROA, and then I want you to get into the company's annual report. And so let's take a look at where we might find all of that stuff. Okay. One thing, let's say you use Google. Let's just go to, oops, can't spell Google, .com. Ooh, I can't spell anything. I can't type. Okay, I'm not normally a Google user, but I'm pretty sure that if I come here and I type in a ticker symbol, it's probably going to bring up the information on that. Let's try Google's. There you go. Okay, so here's one way, and it gives me a little bit of the data, maybe some of the data that you'd have wanted for the first assignment, but it's kind of limited there then. Okay, I could get a better chart, and that's fine and good. It's not giving me the little hand thing up there other than on the chart, to find some more information. But I can come down and I can find, here under Yahoo, and Yahoo's not a bad source actually. I'm going to look at some Yahoo. I got some up here, and so let's try this one. I just want to check something out. See if this gives me a little bit more. Yeah, it does. Okay, gives me a little bit more information, right? It's not. I could get a lot of it if I come over here, okay, and I look at the financials. I'm kind of struggling here a little bit with Google because I don't typically use Google. So let me get out of that. Okay, and you're welcome to use this. I'll bet you if you come here to the financials, it will give you, 3 years worth of revenue, 3 years worth of, what are the things that I asked for? Sales trend. Okay, so I can calculate the sales trend. Now that's 3 months ending, so I probably have to switch it over to annual data. Okay, So there's my sales trend, right? 3 years from 46 million to 66 million. They haven't reported 15 yet, it doesn't look like. Okay, and that's kind of surprising. Earnings per share, it's going to diluted earnings per share excluding is $20, right, from 17. Okay, so yeah, I could get the information there. Okay, I don't find Google to be my favorite spot. My favorite spot is Morningstar. Okay, just www.morningstar.com, right? Or type it into your search engine and away you'll go, right? But www.morningstar.com, there it is, boom. Going to bring me right back to the same place, but okay. Now if I know my ticker symbol, okay, and I'll choose something other than Google. Let's choose one that I kind of like here. Church and Dwight, CHD. It's a small company, okay. That's why I'm going to pick it. It does the Arm & Hammer baking soda. How's that? It also has kind of used that and gone into some other products. It sells, for example, toothpaste based on baking soda. It sells, I think, washing, clothes washing soap, with soda in it and various other things like that. So it's a small little company. Okay, it's pretty focused in what it does, and so it's a good company to take a look at. So here I go, right? Okay, it gives me the basic information that I might want. I'm going to scroll down because there's quite a bit here. There's news, okay, news and whatnot. That some of this, I might want to take a look at. This is what I want you to do. I want you to start following your company. There might be some news that comes up. The last one here was 2.2 of 16, so not too big of a deal, and then back to 113, so not a lot of news. That's fine. Tells me what the company does, right? Says I can visit the company website. I may want to do that. Okay, it gives me some interesting stats down here, right? Price to earnings, trailing 12 months. It's a little better than the industry average. That's what the green means, is that it's better. It's lower, but that's actually better in that case. Price to book, a little bit better. Price to sales, a little worse. Okay, revenue growth, different things. Okay, those kind of doesn't really have anything there because the industry has not had good revenue growth, whereas it has had good revenue growth, just doesn't have anything to compare to. So here, look at the sales trend. I got it right here, annual 13, 14, 15, from 3.2 to 3.4. Nothing spectacular, but decent growth, right? Cash flow from operations, it does not give. Earnings per share, look at that, 279 to 307. Okay, what else did I ask for here? ROE, ROA. Now I'm gonna have to go look someplace else for that, and I'll show you where, but I want to keep coming down. One of the things that you're going to report on a little bit is going to be competitors. Look at that, competitors. Procter & Gamble, Unilever. I can probably click this and get more. I know I can click this and get more. It's a whole hodgepodge of consumer products companies is what we're going to get. Colgate, Palmolive, probably. Boy, some foreign ones there that I'm not familiar with. I'll be darned. It doesn't have some of them on there that I would have thought. L'Oreal. I wouldn't call L'Oreal a direct competitor. Okay, but anyhow, it gives you an idea. It's not a great idea of the competitors, but it will give you an idea of what some of the competitors are. So I'm going to go back and cruise on down a little bit more. Down here, filings. Okay, filings for the company. Financials, ownership, registration, announcements, proxy, insider activities. One of the things that you need to do, for your assignment is look at the annual report, right? Okay, and you may end up wanting more than the one annual report, but if I click on that, on the financials down here, it will, maybe, if the computer works, take me to a page that, there you go. Look at their annual report. Okay. Now I'm going to be honest with you that this format I think is HTML. I'm not 100% sure. I'll click on it and see what it does. It does open it up in a separate deal, and that's fine. I don't like this as well as I like a PDF. You might be able to, for the purposes of this particular assignment, get it right here. Get the stuff that you need, right? Business, right? This is the part where you're going to tell me about what they do, right? The company founded, la da 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 da. There you go. Okay, and so it should be relatively simple there to get that information. But I do think that before it's all said and done, you'd prefer to have this annual report in a PDF. Okay, and so we might go look a little bit further to find that, but this will help you with that assignment anyhow. Okay, you can also see, you can go back a year ago, a couple years ago, okay, back to 2012. You're going to want to look at these. You're probably going to want to go back and take a look at some of those, not for this assignment, but before you actually write your final report. So, okay, there's one way to find annual report, and I want to go back now if it'll let me. Okay, then I want you to look on this line here. It says quote, chart, oops, sorry. It says quote, chart, stock analysis. That's a premium, which we're not going to pay for premium. Performance, key ratios. Ooh, what's one of the questions that I asked? ROE, ROA, right? Financials, valuation insider, different things there. These you're probably not going to use. Bonds is kind of interesting at times, but let's go take a look, because I've asked you for the most recent ROE and the most recent ROA. Those are ratios. Okay, so key ratios. Let's click on that and see what happens. Gross margin, da 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 da. Okay, we got margins, operating profitability, return on equity. Looky there. I've got that from 12 of 06. This kind of goes the opposite way of their other page. So 12 of 06, so December of 06 all the way through December of 15. So my return on equity is right there. Return on assets right there. Okay, so it's pretty simple to find. It also, I don't know if I asked for the trend. Nope, just most recent. Okay, so you're going to come down here to the 15, right, and use that. Okay, notice here that there's just all kinds of other, here's the revenue growth year over year. So what did I ask here? Did I ask for revenue, earnings per share, and sales? Sales is revenue. Okay, so here's my revenue growth. So for the last, it's obviously slowed down some these last few years, but from 13, 14 to 15, there you go. Okay, it's all right there. And then I ask for the earnings per share trend. Right here. Okay, so it shouldn't be difficult, right? But I want you to start clicking on these and figuring out what's available, what you can find. You can start finding some trends and stuff, which are kind of cool, right? And those are the things I want you to kind of start messing around with and finding for your particular company. Okay. And then I asked annual report. You need to pull that out. Yep. Okay. So where else can I get other information? I told you guys, Yahoo actually does a pretty good job. Here was one of the foreign ones that somebody picked. I had it in there, which again, I don't really like a foreign because I don't think we'll get all the information that we'd like. But let's go ahead and put I'll put the same company in here, my Church and Dwight, in Yahoo. Okay. And it gives me the basic information here. And again, if I come over here and I look at, here's key statistics, financials, income statement, balance sheet, cash flow. These key statistics might have some ratios, but I doubt it. Yeah. So again, it's okay. I can find everything probably here. Income statement. There we go, 3 years. Okay, it doesn't give me earnings per share. I don't see it. Okay, so I don't find this to be quite as good. I don't necessarily want everybody. You can use Morningstar. I think it's the best. But hey, if you know other services that do a good job of providing this information, be it Yahoo, be it Kiplinger, I've used Reuters is actually pretty good. I've just gotten so I look at theirs. I get into CNBC a little bit and use theirs occasionally. Okay, if you find one that you like, let me know. Okay, I again through the last couple of years anyhow, and I haven't been using this one. Somebody else might have brought this one to my attention, but I started using this Morningstar, and I really like it. They give you as much information in a condensed format as what I've found anyplace else. So, okay, let's go back to, let's say we're here. And I'm still looking for that annual report. I wonder if I type in just CHD annual report. This may or may not work for each company. It didn't like that. I'm going to go use a different service. I typically use Bing, and Bing usually works pretty good for this. There's Church and Dwight. Annual report 10K, that'd be publication CHD 2012, don't want that. Yeah, we might get her, I'm not sure. Okay, we might find it on here. Oh, it takes you right to the Morningstar. I guess I probably should have seen that. So yeah, there you go. It just a little bit different format than what I had this is, but I can still click it and bring it up the same way. But I'd still like to find it in, I'd still like to find it in PDF format, because if it were me and doing this, I'd like to save the PDF just right to my own computer or my jump drive or something like that. 2014, yeah, that's not good. I should get 2015, so that's not a good spot. Okay, sorry, I'm finding spots that aren't good. I'm kind of just trying to show you different ways. So, yeah, I give up. Okay, and so what I'm gonna do now then is I want to just go right to the company's website. And I think on here wasn't there a spot that said company's website? Visit company website. Okay. There it is, Church and Dwight brand, international, work with us, investors. Okay, you'll find this for a lot of the companies that you're looking at. There'll be a tab. Oftentimes it's down below here. Okay, it may not be up above. It's going to be just kind of down below in something that looks like this, and it might not always be called investors. It might be investor relations. It might be some different things like that. Here's investors again down here. Okay, and if you click on that, okay, and your company may be different. If you have some problems, let me know. Okay, company profile, stock is different, toolkit, title, recent financial news, view all financial news, annual report 2014. So maybe wasn't the one, didn't it have 2015? Wow. So maybe they don't even have it on their own website. Boy, that's kind of crazy. But you can download the 2014. They might not have the 2015 one out on their own website, even though we had it in the other one. 39229. All forms, proxies, annual filings. Let's search for that. Annual report, yeah, there we go. The file 219 of 16 annual reports provides a and their year end could be different. So 2014 might be the last one, but here it is anyhow in PDF format. Okay. So I don't know that each company is going to be perhaps a little bit different. Okay, when you go to open it. Okay. Let's see, 4-year. No, it doesn't say. I need to make it bigger. And so you may find for your company that you got to look a little bit different. Different companies also have different year ends, right? So a corporation isn't necessarily go from December to January through December, they can have different year ends. And so the year of your particular report, yeah, their year end is December 31st. So it is here. I was able to find it, but I had to look around a little bit. Okay, but you're going to have to look around. Each company may be a little bit different on their year end, and so it may not be quite as you think. And 2014 may in fact be the most recent. That's possible. Okay. So I showed you that, and download that annual report. Once you get it in a PDF format like I had it there, a person can save it so that you can come back and look at it anytime more easily without having to hunt and peck like I just did. Okay, and I would go back, here, annual report for the prior year, PDF. Okay, so I could go back here quite a ways, and I could download a few of the PDFs. They don't take up that much space on your computer, so I'd download a few of them, so that you can go back and make some references. Okay, start reading through that a little bit. There's a whole lot of stuff in there that maybe isn't going to be applicable to what we use for our report. There's going to be a management discussion of financials. Okay, and it's going to be in the index at the front there, the table of contents. Probably a management discussion of financials, or it'll be called something similar to that. I would read through those. They're typically only going to be a couple pages, but it's going to start leading you to find things that I'm going to want in your final report, and an analysis of the financial situation of the company. Not just a presentation of the numbers. The numbers are great, and we want to look at those, and we want to understand them, but an analysis of that, and where the numbers came from, and why they are what they are. What things happened maybe that were extraordinary or not extraordinary for that matter. Okay, so start kind of reading through those. It doesn't take a lot. If you spent 10-15 minutes a day, okay, studying your company a little bit, you're going to get a lot better understanding, and you're going to write a lot better paper. Okay, if you procrastinate, which most people do, and you're just going to look up the basic information that I'm asking for, then when push comes to shove, you're going to end up writing a C paper or a D paper. Okay, that's been my experience typically. The other thing that I really encourage people, okay, I dig doing this stuff, and especially companies that I'm not familiar with, I just dig it. I like to get in and look at them. Who knows, there may be one I want to invest in or something. Okay, and so if you got questions or you want to come and talk about your company, bring it on. I just enjoy the heck out of doing that. That's probably what I do on spring break anyways, is study companies and do some stuff like that. Okay, so somebody bring a company to my attention, and I'm going to dig it, and we're going to open it up and take a look at it, and we can have a good discussion about it, and I'm hoping that will help you write a good paper as well. So bring that on. The more the better as far as I'm concerned when it comes to those types of discussions. So with that, I'll turn you loose. This is probably going to be due the week after we return. Okay, but the earlier you get it in, the better, and the more you start studying the company, the better. So thanks. Have a good spring break.